My name is Sophie Nohotemorea, and I live in Tahiti. My mother used to tell us her father's stories, and then after he died, she would tell us her brother's stories. It was a tradition. Every birthday, she would tell us about the underwater exploits of our grandfather Otto when he would free dive for mother of pearl, and how our Uncle Petero made Polynesian history by learning how to graft black pearls. For the past 10 years, she has battled with Alzheimer's, so she can't tell us those stories anymore. Today, I would like to know the truth, and also what is a bit of my mother's imagination. I know that the Tahitian black pearl is world famous. It can be found all over the world. It's one of the showcases of our country. But how did this little pearl earn its fame? What role did my uncle play in this story, in this adventure, which transformed the economy of Polynesia? To find out, I'll have to go to the island where my mother grew up with her parents and her brothers and sisters, which is the island of Manihi. This island is in the Tuamotu archipelago. It's been 10 years since I set foot on the island of Manihi. I actually remember the family home because it's right at the dock. It's the first house you see when you arrive at the Manihi village pier. I remember the walls of this house, but I never found out the real story of my grandfather.
Hello, Sophie.
Hello. Hello, Uncle Petero.
Hello, Sophie. It's been a long time.
Yes. You okay?
Yes, fine. Fine. It's been a long time, huh?
Yes, it's been a long time. 10 years.
Here it is, Sophie. This is the family home. And welcome.
Uncle Petero, is that Otto? It's Papau?
Yes, that's your grandfather. My father's name was Tupana Adoratori Otto, and he was born in Ahe. My mother's name was Tehina Imahia Huata, and she was born in Tubai. My father arrived in Manihi in 1944. It was a friend of my father's who brought him in to work as a copra farmer. However, there were also other activities, such as handicrafts and pearl diving. What I know is that everyone used to come to Manihi for pearl diving. That was the activity that was going on at the time. And I saw my father diving. Paumotu divers are excellent divers. There were also some excellent divers on the Windward Islands, Raiatea and Tahiti. But the real champions are in the Tuamotus.
Uncle Petero, I brought some photos from Tahiti that I found in Grandma Maro's album. So, could you comment on these photos? I recognize Grandma Tahina et Papa Otto. This one, for example.
It's me.
You recognize it?
Yes.
Who's that?
That's Papau.
Papa Otto?
Papa Otto. Oh, this is the first time I've ever seen these photos. This one. Yep, that's Papau.
Okay, he had a nice head of hair.
We have the same hair.
It's not Papao who taught you.
Well, diving in Papau's time was not like that.
What was Papao's diving like?
No.
Did you see him do it?
Yes. Yes, I saw him dive. But I never tried like him. It takes a lot of breath to get to the bottom. They, Papao, and the other old people in his day, they dived like that.
How many meters did they go down?
He always went down 10 meters. My father was a very good diver. He could go to very deep places. However, before each dive, you had to prepare. The divers expanded their lungs to open them all the way until they bled. That was the sign that they were ready. My father would prepare for 2 weeks for breathing. He would go down to 3 umi or more. That's about 30 fathoms deep. When he went pearl diving, he left traps hanging on the surface of the water. He could fill up to 3 traps per day, which is about 300 mother-of-pearl oysters.
At the time, you had to collect mother of pearl in the lagoon, wild. Mother of pearl was used at the time by artisans. Divers sold them to artisans, to all kinds of people, who either engraved them, sculpted them, or who exported them as soon as they were sizable. They exported them to make buttons. Mother of pearl buttons were very, very fashionable at the time.
Back then, thanks to pearl diving, you could quickly buy everything you needed to build your house. We became wealthy enough to live better. That's what pearl diving got us.
Unfortunately, that period did not last long because people began to dive more and more to collect those famous pearls. And as there were very few of them, they were quite rare in the lagoon. There was no rapid procreation, so very quickly there were no more left.
You know, Mother never wanted to tell me about Papa Otto's accident. Could you tell me what happened?
Of course. I can tell you what happened. We were in Takaroa in 1960. I was 5 years old. At 5 years old, you don't really understand what's going on. I was in the canoe, fishing at the back. Father was diving. I could see that the guy who was supposed to bring my father to the surface was acting weird, like he didn't want to worry me, because I was just a kid then. He thought my father was dead. Right then, at that very moment, he knew my father was alive. And when my father grabbed the rope, he pulled with all his might. When my father sprang out of the water, he cried. He screamed. For divers, this cry is associated with a high-pitched song that cleans out the lungs. My father sang out. He did it several times. He latched onto the outrigger of the canoe and stayed with his head down like that. Then, come to think of it, it was as if my father had caught his life slipping away from him, because he almost died. If he hadn't given the signal by pulling that rope, he would have died. Then we returned to the shore. We asked people to help us carry my father because he couldn't walk. So that's what I saw there.
She's tall, Grandmother Tahina, huh? And so she took care of Papa Otto when he had his accident. How did she take care of him?
All the time, with hot water. She would give him rau. Afterwards, when we got back from Takaroa, it wasn't like before. He was mean. You see, it plays a lot with the mind. And I know we already had problems with him before.
Problems?
Yes, already had problems. Me and him, there you go. He couldn't anymore. That's when he stopped. He couldn't dive anymore. He was a victim of nitrogen narcosis. This is called taravana. When pearl diving started to be closed down everywhere, it was because of the death toll from diving accidents. He's handsome there, huh?
The Ferpote?
The man. That's me.
That's you?
Yes. In front of the terminal at the airport.
Who are you with?
I don't see well.
That's me, Uncle Petero, when I was 5 years old. And I had come for the first time to Manihi.
Hey, pretty, huh? Your hat with the flowers.
Do you remember that time? What we were doing?
Playing.
Playing where?
At the sea, always swimming in the sea, all the time. I've always lived here. And I always saw my father, copra farming, because it's the main activity of the Tuamotu people.
As this is the second resource here in Manihi, well, there are a lot of young people who farm copra, and it's still a good income too. It helps you buy what you need to eat, My name is Manuel Terua. I am 30 years old. In Manihi, I am a copra farmer. And copra helps me a lot in everyday life to buy what I need, as we say. Me, my grandparents in the Austral Islands, that's what we did. They farmed copra, they went fishing to feed their little family. Before, that's what we did, and we continue. When you know it makes money, you're going to go for it. After that, it's just the beginning. It's not over yet. You have to wait for it to dry. You have to come and check if the crop does not fall. Because if it rains, the coconut changes quality. It goes into second-rate quality. And no copra farmer wants to have second-rate goods. He always wants to have top quality. I am from the Austral Islands, from Roratu. I came here with my grandparents here in 1990. I came, but my grandparents were already here since 88, 89. They heard about the pearl. In those days, it was still... The pearl was still worth a lot of money in those days. Afterwards, by word of mouth, they found themselves in Manihi.
We had heard that a new activity was going to take place in Manihi. The fisheries department came and organized a meeting to found family associations to get into perliculture.
It was a veterinarian, Mr. Domar, a Frenchman, who had seen pearl grafting in Japan. Not ours, but their own mother of pearl, their white nacre at the time. He had known about this system, and he thought to himself, why not try it here? Why not? So he brought over a first Japanese man. They did some testing. It took a few years anyway before they managed to produce anything. They made one pearl, then 10, then 15. They were really ugly because they hadn't found the know-how. But on the other hand, they knew they had to implant a nucleus. They had learned in Japan that they inserted a bead made from a mollusk shell into the gonad of an oyster. So they understood the system, and they put it in place, but it still did not make very pretty nacre. So after that, there was a year or two lost to waiting, thinking, and observing. Then one day he brought in some good grafters, and he was able to do it. He tried it out. It took a long time. It took years, but he got there. He's the one who started it all. Well, with the Japanese, of course. He wasn't the one who grafted. They were able to do it. And so Mother of Pearl ends there. The story of Mother of Pearl, since it therefore begins to be used for pearl grafting.
It was Coco Chaz who launched Manihi as the jewel of the cultural pearl industry. It's not that anymore, but historically, this is where it started in a commercial way with its global success. Pearls were distributed around the world thanks to this place. And here we are really at the spot. In the water, it was really between here, right here, and that channel where it happened.
Yes.
And we were settled in the village. It started in '67, but we only made mapes. At the beginning, we didn't make pearls. I think the first graft was in '69, so we were still children at the time. Young, not ready for grafting, because I think, Petero, you must have started around 20 or 18?
19 years old.
19 years old. There you have it. So then we quickly got in touch with a Japanese professor, Professor Wada, who came here and grafted the first pearls.
2 Japanese men arrived on the island, Yokomitsu and Mizuno. They had been sent to Takapoto by the fisheries department to carry out research. And when they got to Manihi, at the dock, I saw these two Japanese men, but no one had come to get them.
I
approached them, but they spoke neither French nor Tahitian. So I went back home to ask my brother-in-law, who was a doctor and spoke English, to come with me to translate. We returned to the dock to talk to them and invited them to our home.
Historically, pearl grafting is a Japanese profession. For us, grafter are a secret sect that doesn't want to divulge secrets and is in hiding, right?
That's exactly right.
They didn't want to show us, the two Japanese fellows. There was no question of getting behind them with a camera to film or take pictures. And Petero, who was eager to learn at first, struggled to find, for you maybe it was Mizuno, who was more open, right?
Mizuno and Yokomizo.
Ah, Yokomizo.
It was Yokomizo who came to graft for the cooperatives.
And it was with him that you saw how it was done.
When I saw Yokomizo doing a graft for the first time, that's when I started to observe and started to want to learn how to do grafting too. But he wasn't teaching. He also wouldn't allow people to stand behind him to watch him work. You could only watch him when you were facing him. He was working and preparing the grafts. We didn't know what he was doing. That's how I observed grafting at the time. I watched him and I thought about it. When I got back home, I would ask him, but he never answered me. He never explained to me how to graft a pearl. This thought stuck in my head, but I knew that one day I would be successful. I too wanted to become a pearl grafter one day. It was at the harvest. The first pearl oyster he grafted. It was at the harvest, at the marina. We harvest them, we cut the mother of pearl, and I wanted to become a grafter. And I cut the mother of pearl without killing it, without cutting the pearl sac. Between the coat and the shell, without cutting the sac where the pearl is located.
Yes, to see.
Exactly, to see.
And that's when you said, well, why don't we try? And who gave you the first tools?
It was Maraho Jeno. He was the former mayor. During those years, I didn't have any tools for grafting. So I asked the then mayor, Jeno Mataoa, if he could help me get some. He gave me 4 tools. I didn't have the scissors, but there was the knife to cut the sac, the needle to introduce the graft, and the material to put the nucleus in the sac. When I started to graft, I went to graft with my little brother in our pig pen. I didn't want people to see.
To see you?
Yes, and we grafted on an empty gasoline barrel. I put a 3x3 piece of wood on it, and my brother held the pearl oyster, and I'm the one who...
You didn't even have a stand?
No, not even. It's true that I used a rat trap. I nailed it to a board. And it was this recycled rat trap that held the mother-of-pearl oyster. I really didn't have the right tools at the time. We left the mother of pearl for 5 months there. We had the time to go to Papeete and come back. I told a Chinese friend there from the Jonqui family that I had grafted pearls in Manihi, and could he come and see them with me? We came back to Manihi, and early in the morning we went to the lagoon. My Chinese friend and we went to see the mother of pearls. I removed the chaplets from the water. In the ones that were alive, there were only 2 pearls. The pearls weren't pretty, but they were shiny. They were formed, but not round. Those were my first 2 pearls. I was very happy, and I ran through the village. I told my Chinese friend to put our things away. I wanted to show the people the pearls that I had just grafted.
Everyone had heard of a boy named Petero. He had made his first pearls. He got the knack quickly, and he started making beautiful pearls. So Petero made himself known, and well, people started to employ him. The little farms that had harvested mother of pearl started to employ him. He placed himself, so to say, as a patented service provider, and he was going to graft everywhere.
There weren't a lot of pearl farms at the time. On the other hand, people had mother of pearl. They fished for them and sold them to cooperatives. But they kept some to make mabe. But no one was grafting. And that's when I told them to give them to me, and I was going to graft them.
After several days on Manihi, listening to my uncle tell the family story, I understand more about everything that happened in this lagoon. I was too young then to comprehend the significance of my grandfather's accident and how these and other events led to the flourishing era of the cultured pearl.
Hola, Sophie.
Here, Sophie. This is the SPM, the Manihi Pearl Society. It belongs to the 2 Rosenthal brothers. It started in 1968 with Mabe, and after that, the pearls with the Japanese, with the Professor Wada. It started small and now it's closed since 2005. Or was it 2006? It's closed now. There's no longer a pearl farm.
So I remember that we often passed by a boat in front of this lagoon, and I would see the divers bringing in the chaplets of pearl oysters. So there you have it. There were a lot of them and a lot of chaplets of mother of pearl, huh?
Yes.
They were producing a lot, so I have that image in my mind.
That lasted 30 years, I think. I don't know.
30 years.
Since 68 until now. 30, 40 years. There you go. And I also worked there more than 10 years. I know the SPM well.
I feel privileged to have lived through that time. Today I'm very, very happy to come back to Manihi. Very, very happy to see the buildings in front of which I passed by boat. I'm happy. We are in Cora Cora, which was set up in 1990 by Mr. and Mrs. Breau.
That year, it was our mayoress and her husband who ran this farm.
I had the opportunity, in the group for which I was working at the time, to set up a pearl farm. It turned out that in Manihi, the year we started, there was an explosion of mother of pearl.
We ended up with lots and lots of pearl oysters, so we cultivated them, and when we had all this mother of pearl, we had to find grafters.
So that's where we looked for a local grafter and came across Petero. Because at that point, there was almost an emergency. The oysters were getting bigger. They didn't wait. They got bigger, bigger, bigger. They had to be grafted, but how to do it? Well, we found Petero.
They hired me to graft with them, and that's what I did. He's the one who showed us that the Tahitians could also sit behind a chair and make pearls, and that encouraged us. That's why, for me, Petero is still the gentleman that we respect, because it's thanks to him. At the beginning, we were like that with the Japanese, whereas we didn't even know that we would be able to do it. I didn't stop grafting because the broods had a lot of mother of pearl. Then they hired 15 Japanese grafters because I couldn't do everything on my own.
We were lucky to be able to sell our pearls quite quickly at very good prices at the time. And we have grown. We've continued to do very, very well for years. We've become the second largest group in Polynesia.
That whole building that you see there, right down to the end over there, the pearl grafting farm started from there right up to here, and we had 15 Japanese grafters and 2 local grafters, including my husband, Francis Haoete. And do you see the little house on the other side? It was there that we worked with Tila and Jean to clean and prepare the pearls before bringing them back to Papeete. Well, 15 grafters multiplied by 400 every day, not a complete year. They grafted 8 months a year. That's the quantity of mother of pearl in the lagoon that we had to watch. And over there, we had our radar. It's huge. It went up to the other side. Our lines went straight to the other side. So with this radar, we could see everywhere. You could see as soon as a boat came into the pearl farming concession, we knew there was someone in the pearl farm.
At the time, pearls were worth a lot more. That's why you had to watch out.
It's a lot of memories, and a lot of great memories. Because we were a family with the employees. They were happy to come, I think, huh? It wasn't a farm. We were with the employees, and Tila and Jean, we were a family. Here, there was everything you needed to stay, so we didn't have to go to the village. We were a village. We would bring in their food from Papeete, so we had someone in Tahiti to do the shopping, and everyone would place their orders, you know. So they didn't even have to go to the village. It was a village. We had a 33-foot boat, and every morning they arrived there to start at 7:30 a.m., and they'd leave at 4 p.m.
How many employees were there?
Here?
Yeah,
80, 100 employees, just here.
about 100 employees.
40 came from the village, and the rest lived here, behind there. We had the fuel stocks back there. We had all the machines there in the back. I think there's still the basketball court on the other side.
But it's there, the 33-footer.
Where is it? It was used to pick up employees every morning and bring them back every evening. Here we had people who lived here. And there we had employees who lived there, there. They were all over the place. There you have it.
Yeah, it happened little by little because we started off small at first, and then it grew into a big farm. Indeed, there was a big growth in pearl farms because the value of the pearl at the time was high. It was worth a lot of money. Everyone was getting into pearl farms. I grafted for the cooperatives. I grafted for the private sector. I grafted a lot. That year there were 45 pearl farms, maybe more.
Very quickly, my uncle went to see your mom and asked her if you could come and graft there. And obviously, it was not easy to get time from Petero, who was requested everywhere in Tahiti, everywhere in Manihi.
In the islands, yeah.
But there you go. You were still able to do some grafting here and have the famous results, the huge pearls, because they were top quality. At the time, we only did that with the great specialist in overgrafting here. Yes, Petero was the great specialist in overgrafting. We were trying to get his time for that.
Out of 900 mother of pearl, we only got 450 pearls, but he still had a 50% success rate that we sold very well, and that was our first income.
And with this income that we made, thanks to Petero, we bought some land in Tahiti.
It was the first land that we bought.
How many pearls did we sell?
12 million.
Petero was very famous at the time. I remember that we had hired him on our family farm as well. And he got good results. He was very well liked, you could say. We were very young at the time. Baby grafters, beginners. Petero was like the master of Polynesia.
Yes, that was the farm.
What is your fondest memory, Uncle Petero, from the time of your pearl farm?
My fondest memory is the success. When I built the farm, yes, and the work I did on it. Even the minister, Louis Le Pinsec, he came over to see it. And I was able to work over there with my Japanese friends, grafters. They came to see me there on the farm. When they knew that I was working there, in the afternoon, they came over there.
Why?
We shared information.
Oh, you shared.
Yes, to talk a little about the graft, the overgraft, all that. And there was one that I knew well. I worked with him. He was the one who sent me to Japan. On the farm, that day when he came, I took out the chaplets. 4 times. First time I grafted. That makes 5 times I removed the pearl, still from the same mother of pearl.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. 5 times. The mother of pearl 5 times.
5 times, yes. 5 times. The first graft and 4 overgrafts. At the 4th overgraft, the pearls were pretty, shiny. They were shiny. Well, they say that I'm the first Polynesian grafter. That's what made me famous. But it's not the fame of one person, but of all the Maui, because there are lots of locals who are now grafting.
Come on in, Petero.
Hello, Kara.
Hello, Petero. Come on in.
Are you well?
Yes, I'm well.
Ano na to? May, yan na. May na ulit. Naturo. Oops, ay marunong. Ala. Oh, may.
I put the graft back below.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, since he's our elder, he's Manihi's oldest grafter. That's quite a bit of pressure.
When the young people come to me, like Kara, and those who are at Apeng's farm, they come to ask me for advice regarding the mistakes they made, like, why is this pearl like this? Why is this one like that?
It's fun, and at the same time, I'm proud as well, as it's someone who knows how to make the big pearls and beautiful pearls. And him watching me makes me happy too, that he gives me some advice. To learn, that's for me too. You should always learn from your elders, and that's what I do. It's true that at school you learn a little, but I say it's more when you work on the job that you have to learn, by practicing. At school you'll learn the basics, but then if Petero hadn't given me all this advice, I might not have been able to reach this level. Thanks to his advice and my perseverance and the desire to always want to learn, well, I have managed to progress from year to year. It wasn't quick, but it started to come after about 3 years.
It's good to see young people starting out as grafters. They must be encouraged to go further and to make a living from their work.
Okay, Petero, it's your turn now.
Okay, I'll try again. The mother of pearl at the time were the pearl oysters from deep below. It's been a long time since I grafted.
Yeah, it's been a long time also. But now, since he stopped, it's been a bit too long. But before, he was faster than me. He grafted better than me.
I was faster back then. I could do up to 1,000 mother of pearl a day.
At the beginning, you were the only Polynesian to graft. Today, we must continue in your name.
It's okay, as there are young people taking over. It's a pride, too. I stopped grafting because I changed jobs. You are the replacement.
It's up to us to have the courage to continue now. The price of the pearl, the glory of the pearl, the illusion that we created, because the pearl is indeed an illusion. It is something that we produce, but which ends up around the necks of ladies in the most beautiful capitals in the world. And they are convinced that they have the most beautiful gem in the world. And that was part of the illusion. There were not thousands of grafters, there were only a few. There was Sato, there was Petero. There weren't many, so to have them, that's the rarity, and it is the quality.
Production increased a lot, reaching 9 to 10 tons, and at one point 12 tons. And people to sell were selling at a discount.
Even though there are still people who manage to do well, it's a little sad.
The golden age of the pearl is now a thing of the past, but the younger generation continues to write its page in history. Thanks to the discovery of this gem and to the know-how of these pioneers, like my uncle and the pearl farmers of Manihi, I realized that the pearl shaped the economy of the Tuamotu and therefore of all Polynesia for decades.
Our pearl is beautiful. It is the only pearl in the world with a natural color. It often has a duo of colors, our pearl, so it's incomparable.
My Uncle Petero hasn't grafted in years, but he continues to play an important role in the life of the community. And everywhere on the atoll, pearls and mother of pearl are well represented, as if to remind the inhabitants.
And here is the interior of the church.
Wow, that's really beautiful. That's magnificent.
You see these decorations here? Like mother of pearl? The pearls come from here.
Is that the Stations of the Cross?
Yes, all these paintings.
They're beautiful.
All these shells here come from Weo. There's one of her sisters who lives there. She asked to send all these seashells here.
Apia's daughter?
Apia's daughter, Marua's sister. She's the one who did all these paintings.
Really beautiful.
Yes. When she asked Father Nicola if she could paint pictures, Father Nicola said, "Make me a model first. I want to see."
There are what, 15 models? 12?
Yes, they're not the same decoration.
Uncle Petero, are all the churches like this in the Tuamotus?
I don't know about all the Tuamotus. I don't think so, as I haven't visited all the Tuamotus. It's only in Manihi. It's only here that there are all these paintings.
If you become a bishop, you will visit all the Tuamotus. We'll see. It's magnificent. It's beautiful, Uncle Petero, really. These past few days on the atoll have brought me closer to my family's history and have helped me better understand part of my country's history. I didn't know that my Uncle Petero and my grandfather Otto had had such an important role in the story of the pearl and mother of pearl. I did not realize that it was from this small atoll and its lagoon that Polynesia was able to build such a strong reputation outside its borders. Today, I can return to Tahiti and, for my part, treasure their extraordinary history.